Hi, and welcome back to another video for Your Soul Evolution. In today's video, I wanted to share my opinion on the question, does hell exist? Hell absolutely does exist. As a creation in your own mind, as a state of consciousness. The concept of hell was created by humans. It is man-made. So many people have a genuine belief in the existence of hell, but this is very outdated. Please do some research. The entire concept of a physical place of hell, fire and brimstone, of punishment, was created by man for manipulation and control. It is completely and totally fear-based. If you look into it, which is not very difficult, you have the internet, the possibilities are endless of information that you can find. You don't have to take my word for it. Do your own research. Spend some time looking into the origins of hell, and you will see that it is completely and totally man-made. I do believe that all souls in the afterlife have free will to create any kind of environment that they like and that they have chosen for their afterlife. If someone dies with a very strong belief in hell, and that was what was in their consciousness when they passed over, then I believe they will experience some sort of hell. But it's completely and totally self-created. Just like you're a creator here on planet Earth, you are a creator when you cross over into the afterlife, and you can create any kind of heaven or whatever you want for your afterlife. And it will be determined mostly on the consciousness that you took with you. If you're on a mission here seeking Jesus and you're a very hardcore churchgoer, I believe that when you cross over into your afterlife, you will go into what's called a consensus reality, and you will still be on a search for Jesus. And you will still be attending church, because that is what was in your consciousness. If for some reason you are a person that you do what you believe to be bad things and that you believe that you're going to hell, then I believe you absolutely will go into that hell consciousness when you cross over. But I also strongly believe you will be given opportunities for help by higher beings. But you also have the free will to remain there if you believe that's where you belong. You will go into the afterlife that is a result of the consciousness that you take with you. If in this physical reality you were obsessed with football, let's say, then whenever you cross over into the next reality, you will still be obsessed with football. And you will live out your afterlife being obsessed with football. When you leave this physical earth, you will go into whatever reality you believe you go into. I'll share a quick story with you. My dad passed away in May of 2017. We had been estranged for many, many years, but thankfully I had called him and got back in touch with him just a couple of years before he passed away. And that is one of the things I'm very, very grateful for in my life, is that I took the plunge to give him a call, and we were on very good terms whenever he crossed away very suddenly. Well, I had been wanting to get into contact with my dad, and so one night he came to me in my dream time, which I also believe is closer to reality than the physical reality during the day. But anyway, he came to me in my dream time, and he was showing me his afterlife, okay? And it was a wooden shed, like a storage shed, okay? But it was a little bit bigger than a storage shed, but it was that kind of vibe. And he was in the woods. It was a woodsy area, and he was very excited to show me where he was. And I remember being very disappointed when I saw this. My dad was someone he was not into material things at all. He was brought up very poor. He never cared about having money or anything like that. And so I had hoped that when he crossed over, he would kind of go hog wild, and he would have this awesome place that he was living. And I was just hoping for more for him, that he finally had an opportunity to create whatever he wanted, and this is what he had created. And I think that he could feel that I was a little disappointed, as he was very happy to show me, his environment. And I remember waking up from that dream, and I was like, man, I was disappointed. And I think I didn't even share that with anyone, because I was kind of embarrassed that is the afterlife that he chose. I didn't tell anyone in my family or anything, even though I was very excited that I had had a visit from my dad that had passed away in May of 2017. So I kept it to myself for a while, and then I ended up sharing it with someone I'm very, very close to. And she said, but that is exactly the afterlife that he would have loved. That is exactly the way of living that he would have loved. He was very outdoorsy. He would have loved just to have been out in the woods in a cozy little cabin, shed, whatever you want to call it. And he would have just been happy with that, because that's the kind of guy he was. He never wanted big, extravagant material things. He would have been happy just living that simple life. And I was like, you know what? That's true. He would have been happy living like that. So why am I so disappointed that that's what he chose, if that's what made him happy and that's what made him feel fulfilled in his afterlife? So I spoke to my dad, in my meditation time, and I told him that I was sorry that I had been disappointed, and that I understood that he was happy, and that I basically apologized for being disappointed, and that I was happy for him, and that that's the environment that he chose, if that's the way that he wanted to live out his afterlife. After that, I didn't have any communication with him for a while, and then he ended up coming back to me in the kitchen during a dream time, and he just smiled at me, and I smiled back at him, and it was the most loving, just unconditional, overwhelming love smile. Like, we didn't say anything for a minute. We just looked at each other and smiled, and I can't even describe. It's like a love, an unconditional love that you can only feel on that spiritual side. Like, even though I'm on the physical and he's not, it's like, I believe that when we're sleeping, that we are actually in the spiritual realm. And I'll just never forget the way that we smiled at each other. It was beautiful. And anyway, it was literally like the day before I had something very devastating happen to me that some of you may remember in my videos. And he had given me a message that I did not understand until this morning, actually. I put it together what he had meant by that. And I wasn't able to see that until some time had passed and I had worked through that whole thing. And now I understood the message that he gave me. And I'm very grateful for what he said. And I understand it. So anyway, with all of that being said, I just wanted to say about whatever reality that you choose, whatever consciousness you go into the next reality with, you can have that afterlife. So choose wisely. I would be happy to make more videos deeper into that if this is kind of confusing, or if you feel like I'm kind of leaving you halfway. I would definitely be interested in making a video just on what I believe happens when we cross over. So if anyone is interested in that, please leave it in the comments below and I will get that on my video list. And that is all for now. I'll see you on the next video.